Alright guys, it's your friendly neighborhood atheist. This is a new series that I'm starting. It's going to be Rebuttals to Creationist Claims. So for the first video, I'm going to do one of the most popular arguments creationists use, the Watchmaker analogy. Watchmaker argument was proposed by philosopher William Paley that says if you walked across a field and you found a watch, you wouldn't assume that it was created by nothing, you would assume it had a designer. If you look around at nature, it's complex, so it must have a designer. Now it sounds like a perfectly sound argument if you're not really thinking about it, but once you really think about it, it just falls apart. So, I'm going to go through the many reasons why this is not a good argument. So the first thing that I want to get out of the way is that you won't always hear this as a watch analogy. Ray Comfort, the banana man, loves to use either the book, like you wouldn't expect a book to fall together all by itself, it had a designer, or he also likes to use the painting and the painter analogy. So it's not always going to be in the form of a book, or it's not always going to be in the form of a watch, but it's basically the exact same argument, just different uses. So the first thing that's wrong with this, it uses a false analogy fallacy. So what this is that it's assuming that two things are similar in one way, so therefore they're similar in another way. So for instance, it says the watch is complex, so the watch has a designer. By using the same logic, I can say the watch is complex, the watch was created by Abraham Louis Perellet. The universe is complex, therefore the universe is created by Abraham Louis Perellet. They don't really match up. And for those of you who don't know, the watch was made by Abraham Louis Perellet, that's why I used that name. It uses the false cause fallacy. So this means that they say complexity causes a designer. Now this has never been proven, it's never been observed or anything like that. Correlation does not mean causation. By using that same logic, if we look at this little graph here, one line is the US spending on science, space, and technology, and the other line is deaths caused by hanging, suffocation, or strangulation. So, those two things happen to correlate, but that doesn't mean that the US sponsoring science, technology, space things of that nature causes people to hang themselves. Those things correlate, they don't cause each other. It also ignores natural selection. Natural selection has been proven. I will put some links that'll show you where it's been proven. I'll also put some links for the graphs if you want to go see more correlation graphs. Some of them can be really funny. Also, we already know the watch was designed. We have millions of examples of watches being designed by different designers. Although we have no examples of the watch being designed by no designer. Likewise, we have 0 examples of the universe having a designer. We have millions of examples of the universe not having a designer. Now this also has a self-pleading or a self-refuting fallacy. If we apply its same logic to the argument, it says the watch is complex, the watch had a designer. The universe is complex, therefore the universe had a designer. By using the same argument, the designer is complex, so the designer had a designer. And the designer of the designer is complex, so the designer of the designer must have had a designer. So you can do that up until eternity. And the self-pleading part of this is that they ignore that self-refuting part of it to support their claim. So it doesn't work. Now this doesn't imply that the universe had a creator, it actually implies that it has many creators. So if you see a watch, you can probably assume that the watch had a designer. Now if you see a camera, like the one that I'm filming on right now, you're not going to assume that a watchmaker made the camera, you're going to assume that a camera maker made the camera. So therefore that means that the universe has a lot of designers. We could see the Earth had to have a designer. We see the Sun had to have a sun designer. So it implies many creators, not just one. And one creator could have been responsible for everything, but that's not been proven yet, so we can't take that as a fact. The watch wasn't made from nothing. The watch was a rearrangement of different energy and matter by the designer. Now, by using the same logic, God could not have made the universe out of nothing because he would have needed to use the energy and matter that was already there. Now, I'm not saying there's a God, don't confuse what I'm saying. I'm just saying theoretically. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh, well, if God didn't create the universe, where did the Big Bang come from? Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail in this video because that would make the video like an hour long and I don't want to do that to you guys. So I'm just going to recommend a book. It's A Universe from Nothing by Lawrence Krauss. He's a theoretical physicist. And it basically says that there's virtual particles that are actually popping in and out of existence at the quantum level, and this is how the universe can come from nothing, because quantum law states that if there's even the smallest possibility of something happening, then it's going to happen. Now, this argument doesn't even prove God, it actually helps disprove God with all of these fallacies in it. Because if God is so omnipotent and omnibenevolent, then he couldn't have such things wrong with us, like cancer, like birth defects, things of that nature, because if he was all powerful, that wouldn't be there, and if he was all loving, that wouldn't be there. So he either isn't omnipotent because he can't make things perfect, or he isn't all loving because he wouldn't do that to us if he was. Now, I know people are going to say like the sin and all of this stuff happened, but God created evil, and I will put verses in the description that actually says he does. It's Isaiah 45:7. It literally states he created evil. There's a great book called The Blind Watchmaker by Richard Dawkins that explains this whole thing and completely annihilates it. So if you want this book, I'm going to put a link in the description, and it's just an amazing book, so try it out. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. That's personal preference. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but like it. And you know the drill. I always say it in every video. I mean, god damn it. Subscribe. Oh wait, God can't damn it, because God isn't real. Oops. Those of you who don't know, the Watchmaker argument was... The Watchmaker sounds like a good argument at first, kind of. The watch is complex. The watch was made by Abraham Louis Perlet. Therefore, oh shit. Self-pleading or self-refuting Paul. Alright, fellow heathens. Sorry I didn't make a video on Wednesday. I was actually really sick this week, so I couldn't make a video, and I'm sorry that I didn't stick to my schedule. I'm kind of bad at that, but I'm working on it. I was just really sick, and I don't think you guys will listen to stuff like this and be like all stuffed up like that, so I didn't. Anyways, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you want. Subscribe if you want to. And thanks for watching my videos, guys. And let me know if you like this rebuttal series that I'm going to be starting. I'm going to be rebuttaling a lot of creationist arguments. Thanks for watching.